Have you ever noticed how deeply aware people, those on a spiritual awakening, begin to change, not with loud noise or sudden drama, but with quiet, almost invisible shifts? It starts when a whisper inside says, "This no longer serves me." Nearly everything around them begins to feel heavy. This video is for you if you have felt that whisper tugging at your heart, pulling you away from what used to matter. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll discover here isn't about fleeing from life, but about stepping toward the soul you were always meant to be. Spiritual awakening. What is it really? Carl Jung described it as a process of becoming conscious of what has long lived in darkness. It is the recognition, not of perfection, but of authenticity. And often, this recognition comes with letting go. Awake people gradually abandon things that once seemed essential. Habits, relationships, roles, beliefs. In quietness, in sorrow, they slowly unburden themselves. But each thing they release makes room for what really matters. So, what do spiritually awake people typically quit? Slowly, gently, but for good. I'm going to walk you through them. When you hear these, you might find yourself nodding or tearing. Both reactions are part of awakening. And if you keep watching till the end, you'll not only recognize what you may be shedding, but you'll also gain courage to fully embrace your own path forward. The first thing awakened souls often quit is approval seeking. All their lives they looked outward, seeking praise, validation, applause. But the more they awaken, the more that need feels like a burden. Jung taught that the persona, the mask we wear for others, holds us in roles that are not ours. So approval becomes armor and also prison. Quietly, bit by bit, they stop living for others' eyes. They stop bending to expectations that clash with inner truth. They begin to live according to inner conviction instead of external praise. Closely linked is the second thing: pretending. Awake people gradually stop pretending to be someone they are not. Pretending to feel okay when inside they are torn. Pretending that they believe things they really doubt. Pretending that everything is fine so people around them stay comfortable. Jung said that to heal, one must face the shadow, the parts of ourselves we hide, fear, or deny. So they stop masking. They allow vulnerability. Their truth becomes enough, even when it shakes, even when it is messy. Third, they quit unceasing comparison. The world of the awakened shrinks the need to compare, to measure one's journey against someone else's, because they notice that comparison steals peace. They observe that when they measure, they suffer. When they compare, they lose sight of their own path. Instead, they learn to see others' growth as inspiration, not as a yardstick. Jung taught that each psyche is unique, each path is singular, so they stop comparing and begin trusting their own unfolding. The fourth thing is fear-based choices. Many decisions in life come from fear. Fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of what others might say. Awake people still feel fear, but increasingly they refuse to let it decide. They stop choosing safety when it costs integrity. They stop staying in jobs, relationships, or mindsets that kill their soul's spark. They begin choosing courage, even if trembling. They begin letting purpose guide them rather than fear controlling them. Fifth, they quit living for comfort. Growth almost always hurts. Staying within old comforts, safe routines, familiar faces, predictable days can feel smooth, but it also kills expansion. Carl Jung believed that individuation, becoming who we truly are, often asks for discomfort. So awakened people trade ease for meaning. They walk paths that feel uncertain, feel vulnerable, because the soul requires risk. They tolerate discomfort for the sake of truth. Sixth, they relinquish old beliefs that no longer serve. Beliefs passed down by family, society, or culture that once made sense, but over time feel hollow or restrictive. Awake people question those beliefs. They test them. Some beliefs they keep, but many they release. Jung warned that we often carry beliefs unconsciously, obeying them without real awareness. Awakening brings awareness, and with awareness comes choice. They choose which beliefs to carry forward. Seventh, they reduce attachment to material success as the ultimate goal. While ambition may still exist, awakened individuals begin to see that true fulfillment isn't in more money, more possessions, more recognition. Instead, they find peace in simplicity, meaning in relationships, in self-discovery, in being rather than doing. Jung's writings often pointed out that neglecting the inner life for the outer always leads to imbalance. So they slowly detach from chasing status or objects, seeking synchronicity instead, seeking harmony. Eighth, they step away from endless mental noise. Constant thoughts, worries, overthinking. This habitual noise clutters awareness. Awake people learn silence. They meditate, they listen, they pause. That doesn't always mean sitting still, but making space. Space to breathe, to feel, to observe. In that space, clarity emerges. Jung believed the unconscious speaks in symbols, in images. It is only when mind quiets that we hear those messages. Ninth, they cease ignoring inner wounds. Many try to heal only the surface, habits, behaviors, outcomes. But awakened people recognize that unresolved pain, the unloved child, the rejected part, the shame, lurks beneath. To become whole, they must look at those wounds, feel them, integrate them. Jung taught that shadow integration is painful, but liberating. Without embracing what's hidden, true presence remains elusive. So they stop pretending wounds don't matter. They begin to heal. And 10th, they let go of resistance to change. For so long, resisting felt safer. Resist change, resist endings, resist the unknown. But awakened souls know that resistance costs more than discomfort. So they gradually let go. They let life flow. They welcome endings. They accept that growth often means loss. But with every letting go, something new is born. Authenticity, peace, deeper alignment. Throughout this journey of letting go, awake people develop certain practices. They silence judgment of self. They cultivate mindful awareness. They listen to dreams, symbols, intuition. They allow their inner voice to guide them over outer voices. They follow arousal of spiritual longing rather than demands of ego. And slowly, their life begins to reflect their soul's truth. Your journey might already include some of these whisperings of leaving things behind. Maybe you already stopped seeking approval. Or perhaps you feel inside that you cannot pretend anymore, that you must live by what feels true. If you are here, hearing this, recognize the courage in that moment. That courage is awakening. So ask yourself, which things are you quietly quitting? What does your soul want more of? Peace, purpose, truth, authenticity? Hold on to those questions. They are maps back to your deepest self. Stay until the end, because what comes next are steps to embrace this process fully. How to let go without breaking, how to trust unfolding, how to live awakened living, not just awakening. If this message resonates, pause, breathe, and choose one thing you're ready to release today, and start walking your own awakened path.